Welcome back to the channel. So in the series of D.ed Special Education IDD syllabus, first paper Introduction to Disabilities, we will today cover the third topic of first unit Understanding Disability, definition, categories, benchmark disabilities and the legal provisions for PWDs in India. We have already covered the first two topics in our previous videos, so check it out. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment of Persons with Disability, Divyangjan Department administers the following three acts: the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, the National Trust for the Welfare of Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation and Multiple Disabilities Act 1999, Rehabilitation Council of India Act 1992. The RPWD Act 2016 was enacted on 28 December 2016, which came into force from 19 April 2017. The salient features of the Act are: responsibility has been cast upon the appropriate governments to take effective measures to ensure that the persons with disabilities enjoys their rights equally with others. Disability has been defined based on evolving and dynamic concept. The Act covers the following specified disabilities. First, physical disability. A. Locomotor disability. We have here leprosy cured person, cerebral palsy, dwarfism and muscular dystrophy, and acid attack victims. B. We have visual impairment, which includes blindness and low vision. Third, we have hearing impairment, and it includes deaf and hard of hearing. And last, we have speech and language disability. Second is intellectual disability, which includes specific learning disabilities and autism spectrum disorder. Third, we have mental behavior, mental illness. And fourth, we have disability caused due to a chronic neurological conditions such as first multiple sclerosis and second Parkinson's disease. B, we have blood disorder, which includes hemophilia, thalassemia and sickle cell disease. Fifth, we have multiple disabilities, which includes additional benefits have been provided for persons with benchmark disabilities and those with high support needs. Every child with benchmark disability between the age group of 6 and 18 years shall have the right to free education. 5% reservation in seats in government and government-aided higher educational institutions for persons with benchmark disabilities. Stress has been given to ensure accessibility in public buildings, both government and private, in a prescribed time frame. 4% reservation in government jobs for certain persons or class of persons with benchmark disability. The Act provides for grant of guardianship by district court or any authority designated by the state government, under which there will be joint decision making between the guardian and the persons with disabilities. Broad-based central and state advisory boards on disability to be set up as policy-making bodies. The Act provides for strengthening of the Office of Chief Commissioner of Persons with Disabilities and State Commissioners of Disabilities, which will act as regulatory bodies and grievance redressal agencies and also monitor implementation of the Act. These offices will be assisted by an advisory committee comprising of experts in various disabilities. Creation of national and state fund to provide financial support to the person with disabilities. The Act provides for penalties for offences committed against person with disabilities. Designated special courts to handle these cases concerning violation of rights of PWDs. There are innumerable types of disabilities that can affect a human being. Some of these conditions are more common than others. Some of the types of disabilities are recognized by the government in order to provide disability benefits. to the needy ones. Often people wonder what are the disabling conditions that are more prevalent. Here are the list of 21 disabilities that have been identified under the RPWD Act 2016 of India. First, blindness. Blindness is defined as the state of being sightless. A blind individual is unable to see. In a strict sense, the word blindness denotes the condition of total blackness of vision with the inability of a person to distinguish darkness from bright light in either eye. Second, low vision. Low vision means a condition where a person has any of the following conditions, namely visual acuity not exceeding 6 by 18 or less than 20 by 60 up to 3 by 60 or up to 10 by 200. Snellen. In the better eye with best possible corrections, or limitation of the field of vision subtending an angle of less than 40 degree or up to 10 degree. Third, leprosy cured person. Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease (HD), is a chronic infectious disease caused by a bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae. The disease mainly affects the skin, the peripheral nerves, mucosal surfaces of the upper respiratory tract, and the eyes. Leprosy is known to occur at all ages, ranging from early infancy to very old age. About 95% of people who contract M. leprae do not develop the disease. Fourth, hearing impairment. Hearing impairment is a partial or totally inability to hear. It is a disability which is subdivided in two categories of deaf and hard of hearing. Deaf means person having 70 decibel hearing loss in speech frequencies in both ears, and hard of hearing means a person having 60 decibel to 70 decibel hearing loss in speech frequencies in both ears. Fifth, locomotor disability. Strictly speaking, locomotor disability means problem in moving from one place to another, that is disability in legs, but in general it is taken as a disability related with bones and joints and muscles. It causes problems in person's movements like walking, picking or holding things in hands, etc. Dwarfism. Dwarfism is a gross disorder characterized by shorter than average body height. Intellectual disability. Intellectual disability, also known as general learning disability and mental retardation (MR), is a condition characterized by significant limitation both in intellectual functioning, reasoning, learning, problem solving, and in adaptive behavior, which covers a range of everyday social and practical skills. 8. Mental illness. Mental illness or mental disorder refer to substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation, or memory that grossly impairs judgment, behavior, capacity to recognize reality, or ability to meet the ordinary demands of life. But it does not include retardation, which is a condition of arrested or incomplete development of mind of a person, specially characterized by subnormality of intelligence. Autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder (ASD) is a neurological and developmental disorder which affects communication and behavior. Autism can be diagnosed at any age, but still it is called a developmental disorder because symptoms generally appear in the first 2 years of life. Autism affects the overall cognitive, emotional, and social and physical health of the affected individual. 10. Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy (CP) is a disabling physical condition in which muscle coordination is impaired due to damage to the brain. It occurs at or before childbirth. Cerebral palsy is not a progressive condition, meaning it does not get worse with time. However, muscle disuse could increase the extent of disability over the period of time. At present, there is no cure available for this condition, thus cerebral palsy is incurable and a lifelong condition at present. Muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy (MD) is a group of neuromuscular genetic disorder that cause muscle weakness and overall loss of muscle mass. MD is a progressive condition, meaning that it does get worse with the passage of time. 12. Chronic neurological conditions. Examples of chronic neurological conditions are Alzheimer's disease and dementia, Parkinson's disease, dystonia, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, Huntington's disease, neuromuscular disease, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, and stroke. 13. Specific learning disabilities. Specific learning disabilities is a group of disabling conditions that hampers a person's ability to listen, think, speak, write, spell, or do mathematical calculations. One or more of these abilities may be hampered. Multiple sclerosis. In multiple sclerosis, MS, the immune system of body attacks the central nervous system, which includes brain and spinal cord. As a result of MS, the myelin sheath covering the neurons get damaged. This exposes the nerve fiber and causes problems in the information flow through nerves. With time, MS can lead to permanent damage to nerves. Speech and language disability. A permanent disability arising out of conditions such as laryngectomy or aphasia, affecting one or more components of speech and language due to organic or neurological causes. 16. Thalassemia. Thalassemia is a genetically inherited blood disorder which is characterized by the production of less or abnormal hemoglobin. As we know, hemoglobin is a protein found in red blood cells. Hemoglobin is responsible for carrying oxygen around the body. Thalassemia results in large number of red blood cells being destroyed, which leads to anemia. As a result of anemia, a person affected with thalassemia will have pale skin, fatigue, and dark coloration of urine. Hemophilia. Hemophilia is a blood disorder characterized by the lack of blood clotting proteins. In the absence of these proteins, bleeding goes on for a longer time than normal. Hemophilia almost always occurs in males and they get it from their mothers. Females are rarely affected with hemophilia. Sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is a group of blood disorders that causes red blood cells RBCs to become sickle-shaped, mishappen, and break down. The oxygen carrying capacity of such mishappen RBCs reduced significantly. It is genetically transferred disease. Red blood cells contain a protein called hemoglobin. This is the protein that binds oxygen and carry it to all parts of the body. 19. Multiple disabilities including deaf and blindness. Multiple disabilities is the simultaneous occurrence of two or more disabling conditions that affect learning or other important life functions. These disabilities could be a combination of both motor and sensory nature. 20. Acid attack victims. An acid attack victim means a person disfigured due to violent assaults by throwing of acid or similar corrosive substance. 21. Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease (PD) is a central nervous system disorder which affects movement. Parkinson's disease is characterized by tremors and stiffness. It is a progressive disease, which means that it worsens with time and there is no cure available at present. Government of India uses the term benchmark disability quite often in the official communications regarding persons with disabilities. Often you come across a question like, are you a person with benchmark disability? For example, in the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, RPWD Act 2016, this term is used at many places. Department of Personnel and Training (DOPT) also uses it too often in their job vacancy ads where certain seats are reserved for the disabled people. Then you also find mention of this term in context of examinations like UPSC, bank services, net exams, etc. But most people do not understand what exactly is this benchmark disability. Well, here is the answer. Benchmark disability refers to having at least 40% disability of any type recognized under the RPWD Act 2016. So to be in the category of having benchmark disability, a person has to have at least 40% disability as mentioned on her disability certificate or UDID card. So that was it. That was our third topic of this unit. And we will start our fourth topic, an overview of causes, prevention, prevalence, and demographic profile of disability in our next video. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Hope this video helped.